No gold is not in her. She's a diamond.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Welcome back to another opening move video where we're playing as the nation of Wallachia. I decided to stop my game here and basically show it off to you guys, even though my economy is in really bad shape. We're over 1,000 ducats in debt. But I did because it's the year 1500 and I feel like I am doing absolutely crazy. You can see our diplomacy is really good, being protected by both Bohemia and Austria. Muscovy is going to be an ally once again in 5 years' time. He actually annulled his alliance with us after losing a war, but nonetheless he's doing quite well. He's big, powerful Muscovy at this stage of the game. And we have the mighty Byzantium as our subject nation. Now, I've just fought multiple wars back to back, and therefore my economy is not in the best shape. I'm not maintaining my troops. We are, however, making almost 6 ducats a month whilst maintaining my advisors. And I have built some churches and a marketplace. So I'm feeling pretty good about just chilling here with my power projection above 50. And it won't take too long to begin paying off those loans. I could even debase my currency if I wanted to. And of course, when we repay those loans, I'm going to be making more money without those interests to be paid off. So doing really, really nicely. I'm not too worried about the economic situation. And pretty damn cool. Usually, well, sometimes when I do these videos, I'll show you at a stage when I'm ready to form Romania or whatever nation it would be. In this case, we still need Moldavia and Maros to form Romania, but in due time, I feel like we would get that. Feeling really, really good. And if you guys want to see how to do this yourself, stick around because I'll show you what should be your opening move. Okay, guys, so first things first, what I want to talk about is the fact that Poland is friendly. They always begin friendly as Wallachia, so we're going to go ahead and grab an alliance from them. But not only that, I have noticed that even as other nations, randomly, certain nations which are going to be extremely strategically beneficial just begin friendly with you. It seems like some kind of buff, I suppose, to the scenario, the circumstance of those particular nations. But with that being said, a lot of you might feel like ripped off, like, oh, you can ally Poland? Well, I could do Wallachia easily. For more advanced players, that might be the case. But don't be so sure that simply because you can ally Poland that you're going to make short work of this opening. Because obviously the Ottomans expand and are way more powerful than the PLC initially. With their 6 in military and the rate that they expand and without actually coring land makes them absolutely formidable. As well as the fact what you will find is Hungary can actually bring in Austria against you. Even if you're allied with the PLC, you might find that Hungary wants to kill you and brings in Austria against you, absolutely ravages you. If you're lucky enough to have another ally apart from the PLC, the Ottomans will attack you when you're in trouble. Now, let's say that Austria gets roped into a war and you feel like, okay, you've got good RNG, the Poles are rivaling Hungary, so you can bring them in and promise them land against Hungary. Well, of course, the Ottomans warn you, which means they're going to back Hungary up. So regardless of the fact that you can actually ally Poland, this is still an incredibly difficult start. And I'm going to show you exactly what I think is the best move to do. Firstly, we're going to build up some infantry. These missions are irrelevant because we're going to disinherit our son. Why are we going to disinherit him? Because he's not Draculist. Are you crazy? We've got priorities. I'm going to focus admin just because it is my preference, because I feel like when you're a small nation, you want to blow up and expand, basically. And you want to do everything in your power to expand quickly, and that's going to be really taxing on your admin. So the solution to being warned by the Ottomans is no CBing somebody, right? It's the only way to realistically dodge the warning. So let's say that you no CB Silesia. You're not going to be able to core his land, but you are going to be able to vassalize him. And once you vassalize a target, you can actually core provinces next to the vassal. Okay, so this means you actually do have options, for example, Nosy being somebody in Russia and expanding into Novgorod when Muscovy attacks them or something along those lines. But our Nosy B is going to be a little bit more clever than that, and it's going to be Byzantium. Now, in the past, let's stop maintaining that. I don't want to maintain it, and I'll turn this off so we automatically don't raise our maintenance when we go to war. Let's take a general here. Now we are, that general's really bad. Awesome. We are going to experience a aristocratic coup eventually, but what I will do is before that happens, I'll just take this land from the boyars, and that will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and build our army up a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is basically study the rivals of, or the enemies rather, of the Ottomans. So we're going to see Hungary, Poland, and Austria. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff. And I'm going to throw down one of my diplomats into these nations. All of those enemies. We already have Poland, but we're going to work on Austria and Hungary. Now, in the past, this was not viable in any way, shape, fashion, or form because the Ottomans would not give you access. But basically, they always rival Byzantium. I'm not sure if there is some kind of RNG element, but it seems to be 100% consistent from what I can tell. So what that actually means now, currently, is we get a 150 modifier for at war with neighboring rival. Even though the Ottomans are hostile and they desire all our land, they will actually give us military access. So that's basically the strategy in a nutshell, guys. I'm not going to lie, I don't want to make this seem way more elaborate than it actually is. The intention here is going to be to vassalize Byzantium, which is going to put us in, somewhat of a fairly good position, but more importantly, it's going to actually deny the Ottomans from taking that themselves. So now that I've got an access through the Ottoman Empire, I'm going to improve relations with Austria, who is also a target that we want to improve relations with. And yeah, from here on out, it's basically just about not making mistakes. I really wish I had more than 0 shock. Let's have a look at our advisors. Well, we got really unlucky on the general, the 40 general having no shock, but we did get lucky that we have that advisor. Hopefully, because we outnumber him by 2k and we've got 10 discipline on him, that we smash these troops in the grasslands. Oh gosh, these Athenians making our life difficult. So by the way, what I'm going to do, nice, we won that battle, that's very good. What I'm going to do while I continue to play this out, basically, is explain to you what could go wrong. It's really annoying that he's actually crossing the strait there because I don't have any naval units. Let's just rush down to the south of Greece in that case. So what could go quote-unquote wrong and how to help alleviate those things? The Ottomans could definitely ally Serbia. Now, if the Ottomans did ally Serbia, what you're going to want to do is to, because Serbia doesn't have access, he's just going to be chilling here. So you just want to build up your units. You do have the discipline on him, as well as the you're slightly stronger than he is in terms of force limits or the troops that you start off with initially. So what you're going to want to do is just walk straight across here and deal with Serbia, his troops. When you either stack wipe him or win a battle, whatever, he's retreating over to here, let's say, just siege up his entire country apart from his capital. And that's going to allow you to actually piece him out, believe it or not, without actually having to finish the occupation of his capital. You can actually piece him out simply by occupying the rest of his land. And for that matter, you can actually take his cash, war reparations, etc. Okay, so in this case, the Ottomans have declared war on Byzantium as well. which is really irritating because he's actually got the siege here. So I'm wondering if we can somehow prevent him from sieging up this land. Maybe the Trebizond troops would break the siege if we make them retreat onto Ottoman land. Okay, excellent. We actually got the siege, which is really good. I'm going to quickly maintain this fort here to break that. Oh, so, as usual, welcome to EU4, there are some RNG elements. From my experience, the Ottomans don't often just instantly declare on Byzantium. So we've been really quite unlucky overall. That's a nice mission. That Diplo rep could really help us get these alliances. Let's improve relations with Hungary. I like that. But even while having quite bad RNG, we're managing to pull this off just fine. So hopefully, if the Ottomans siege up Trebizond, we could just separate piece him, hopefully, if his enthusiasm is garbage. But what I'm going to try to do right now is just siege up the rest of Byzantium. The next thing I was going to talk about after dealing with Serbia, which is really quite easy. Again, you just walk across, smash this, fully siege him up apart from his capital, piece him out. In fact, you could argue that it's more beneficial. Nice, these enemies have no troops whatsoever, so we're safe now to siege them down. You could argue it's more beneficial if he's allied to Serbia, because you can just instantly, well, within a couple months you can piece him out, take his war reparations and cash. The other problem that you can encounter is what we just encountered, basically, which is the Ottomans also declare war on Byzantium. If they do this, you basically have two options. And one is to just wait. Sit on Byzantium sieges and just wait while you're at war. You know what I should do? I should fire this advisor. We're spending money on that we cannot afford. If you take that approach of just waiting whilst sitting at war with Byzantium, then you can hope that the Ottomans will actually just piece them out because you've kind of denied them. That's probably the best way to go. However, you do have an alternative option. And that is actually vassalizing Byzantium, which is what you intend to do. But doing that with the intention to call Poland in. Oh, okay, in this case, Poland has not gotten the personal union. So we obviously don't want to do that. That's unfortunate. We don't have that option. But yeah, that is a strategy that you could employ, is basically you can pull Poland in against the Ottomans because it's a defensive war once Byzantium becomes your vassal. Now, that is quite a risky maneuver, because although you're going to outnumber the Ottomans like crazy, quite frankly, the Ottomans do have the starting discipline. They've got a decent general, and they have the Anatolian units, so they're actually way more powerful. So you're really going to be depending on the AI, which is a really uncomfortable spot to be in. If you did try to employ that strategy, what I would recommend is that you try to split your own unit. Firstly, move your units away from where the battlefield will become. And then as soon as you receive the war from the Ottomans, walk up into the Poland and Lithuanian land. And I would recommend that you actually detach single infantry stacks and really try, even though it can be really tedious and frustrating, try to have the Lithuanian in particular, because they seem to dawdle out around the most. Try to attach them to your stacks so that you can actually micromanage everything. If you do manage to attach everything and micromanage everything, let's see if we can pull... Oh, the Ottomans just full in next Trebizond. That works. I was going to say, let's see if we can pull one of his stacks onto ours to help us siege that down, but I'm a little bit concerned that the other stack out here will walk over. We'll just be, and ninja the occupation from us. We'll just be a little bit more patient than that. Yeah, so we don't have the option, like I just said, of the PLC winning this war for us. Which means we're basically going to be sitting at war in this circumstance for a long time. I think if we get our troops over here looting Constantinople, we might not be losing money at least while we wait. But yeah, in that case, I guess our RNG, considering our ally is that much weaker, our RNG is basically as bad as it could possibly be, quite frankly. The only way we lucked out is having that disciplined advisor, which helped us win a single battle. So let's hope that... I'm turning the speed up in order to hope that if we just prolong this, the Byzantium will be able to actually peace out the Ottomans. Now, it's really not that difficult to get a royal marriage with Hungary. Let's go ahead and do that, which is going to allow us to actually... Oh, maybe not. I hope so. It will hopefully allow us to get 100 relations with him, which is our mission, because that Diplo reputation could really help us getting alliances. Also, a Diplo rep advisor, statesman, if they were affordable, would be something to look out for as well. Looks like we just got guaranteed by Hungary, so we're feeling really safe in defensive battles, which is good. And otherwise we're just going to wait. Tell me what you think about my short little intro, guys, that I made, because when I first was working on it and made it, I thought, this is pretty cool, I like that. And then throughout making it, I watched it about 100 times, and it turns out I don't like it very much. But if you guys tell me, cool intro or whatever, if you like it, that will make me feel better. But at the same time, be honest. It's difficult to do that kind of thing. But be honest if you like it or not. I'm trying to rack my brains. The fact that we're guaranteed by Hungary, does that mean he would aid us in a defensive war against the Ottomans? I actually don't think it would. I think obviously Hungary as well as Poland would actually smash the Ottomans. But I don't think it would actually help us. Because the reason is because it would actually be this war, this current war that is going on between the Byzantium and Ottomans, and we would actually get a call to arms to call Poland in once it becomes a defensive war. Oh, I love losing stability. Feels really good. So unfortunately we wouldn't be able to call in Hungary. Yeah. We're right about just about to get 100 relations with Hungary with these the aggressive expansion ticking modifier. Hopefully we'll get that shortly if we maintain our relations with him. And yeah, just while we wait with the siege on Constantinople, I wanted to say something else as well. Basically, I have one Let's Play, or something that could be considered a Let's Play on this channel, which is like my Austrian playthrough. And I'm really surprised at how well received that has been. Like, it's not... Obviously, this is a small channel, I don't have that many followers, and it's not anything to really pull people in, like a starting strategy or anything like that, or, you know, world conquest or an achievement or anything like that. And the fact is there are so many episodes, and I'm really blown away that, I mean, some of the least viewed videos throughout, like a minimum, I mean, they have like 500 views, which just blows me away. Like, if there are 500 people minimum, because some of them have like 10,000 views, like the episode 1 and so on. If there are that many people who are willing to watch, I'm more than happy to make like a Let's Play for you guys. But I feel like that Let's Play, in quotations in particular, was absolutely freaking epic. And that might sound like it's a bit of a plug or whatever, but it's not a plug, it's just objective reality, okay? Like, that was such a good game. I'm not trying to hype it up, but the few people who have watched it will know what I'm talking about. I can almost bet that there's no other EU4 Let's Play that is that intense, because my entire game was on the line at some point. It's a scenario I don't feel like breaking down right now, but the point is, if I did do another Let's Play, I don't think it would be to that such an extreme, epic proportions. It would be something that would be hard to recreate. However, let me know if that's something that you would be interested in seeing. So I suppose right now, we're just going to chill. I'm going to distribute my troops a little bit to help loot provinces, to help our economy, because we're slowly losing money. I could also unmaintain my troops. Let's do that. But we have to wait until Byzantium is no longer at war with the Ottomans. And we don't actually have any other options to improve relations with, like the Mamelukes or anything like that. Let's send an insult to Serbia. Try to get some power projection there. Ooh, we could improve relations with Albania, apparently, to get some prestige and diplomatic power. Yeah, so what I wanted to say while we wait is the nation that I have in mind is actually Naples. Why? Mainly because I just feel like playing Naples. But there is an achievement to actually play as Naples and become a great power. It's a pretty humble achievement, but I'm pretty sure I could do it. And I think it would be pretty cool to play as Naples, become a great power, and then form Italy, and then form the Roman Empire. I don't think I actually have the intention to play a Let's Play all the way through to the end of the game, especially if it's not anything really crazy that I can achieve before the end of the game, just because I feel like it's a bit much. The late game can actually become really boring, I think, but that is something that I'd be interested in doing, is starting as Naples. Obviously, we'd have to deal with Aragon and break 3 from our overlord. Becoming a great power, getting that achievement, forming Italy, and then going on to conquer the absolute vast majority of Europe. Again, just let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in watching, and I might be compelled to do that. As far as this game is concerned, we're now getting call for peace. That's a concern. And of course, during an offensive war, we cannot make any allies. That's a nice mission there. Do we dare take 10 ducats over prestige? I think we might have to. Our economy is in really, really bad shape. So there we go. War exhaustion doesn't affect us that much because it's only our main land that we control ourselves. So it's looking pretty stable. We can afford to hang out in this spot for quite some time. How about you, Ottomans? Are you willing to just chill like we are? His mission is to conquer the city of the world's desire, so he definitely wants this. But that's obvious. He's always wanted it. Yeah, so let me explain, I suppose, what you're going to be doing after you have Byzantium as a subject. The intention is now, if you were to fight the Ottomans are going to be taking an offensive war against you, and therefore they have to deal with your diplomacy, right? So obviously we're going to basically, you can see we're really close to being able to obtain Hungary as an ally. And the dream is, because we snipe this land from the Ottomans, they're actually going to become a valid rival. I mean, if Byzantium if they're a valid rival for Byzantium, then it makes sense, right? That if we have this plus Byzantium, we're now in range to rival them. So therefore, that's going to make obtaining an alliance with Hungary quite easy. And then he's going to basically deal with ourselves as well as Byzantium, our subject, Hungary and Poland, in an offensive war, which is pretty damn intimidating for him because he's not going to have expanded too much. Then, of course, the intention is to work on Austria if they're rivaling them, or even the Mamelukes if they're rivaling the Ottomans, to get really, really good diplomacy. And the way that my game in particular played out, the one I showed you earlier, I managed to ally Austria, Hungary, and Poland, who was Greater Poland. And I actually called in Poland and Hungary against the Ottomans when they were fighting Anatolian miners by promising them land. But that land I didn't give them. I took everything for myself. I took all of Bulgaria as well as this province, the Serbian province. And that actually broke my alliances with Hungary and Poland, but I still had Austria. Considering I won over on the Ottomans, I was feeling so much better about myself. And with Austria in a defensive battle, I was feeling pretty good. And at that stage, having all of this, I actually was a valid rival for Poland. I rivaled Poland at that stage, and I began improving relations with Muscovy and obtained them as an ally. As far as this province is concerned, this is something you really want to keep an eye out for in this game. Basically, you can see that there are Moldavian Cossacks here, rebels, ready to revolt from Moldavia. But not only that, his entire country is revolting. And the reason is because Poland will always force him to become Catholic, but his lands are actually Orthodox. So that's something really to keep an eye on, because you can see here that his... it says on the screen that he has a mothballed fort. What that basically means is, as soon as these rebels spawn, they're usually stronger than 6 because he's actually a subject. So the rebel stack is usually stronger than his stack because he gets the negative modifier, right, for being a subject. But the intention is that it's the Polish responsibility to clean this up. But the problem that Poland finds is they will instantly siege this fort within 1 month, which means they're going to progress really quickly. Moldavia is usually afraid of the stack. He walks off, and the stack will go on to his capital, which is only a fort level 1. If they actually obtain his capital city, they will instantly win. And what Cossacks do when they siege down a steppe province, their ambition, when the rebels are successful, is to actually defect from... Let's remove this from the boyars to avoid this aristocratic coup that's coming up. To defect from Moldavia is what I was trying to say, and therefore Bessarabia, if I pronounce that correctly, will then become a free city, and obviously you're going to annex them. The likelihood of this happening is fairly high for the reasons that I just described. I wouldn't say it's over 50%, but if you're observant, you're going to find that there's a reoccurring trend of a one province miner spawning here on this province. Now, obviously, as Wallachia, if you can obtain that province, that's really going to benefit you. In my case, I actually was able to make that my trading port, which gave us increased... We have 20% control over Constantinople in my game, but that's soon to be a huge amount, because I will own Constantinople itself once I integrate Byzantium. But not only that, this province being a center or being a estuary, it actually gives you a port, which allows you, if you have an abundance of money, to build lightships, etc. And it's even going to give you access to this Crimean region. Like, you could, if the Crimea was getting wrecked by the Golden Horde, for instance, you could expand into an Orthodox province here, which is going to give you access to this Orthodox land. And even if they were truly getting wrecked, you could vassalize them if they were very small, which would give you a tremendous amount of reconquest. So it opens up a lot of opportunities, obviously. Now, these Ottomans are absolutely killing me, the fact that they won't peace out. How... Whoa, our war exhaustion is so high, dude. They're literally killing me. We might have to see what happens if we peace out here. The length of war will be really high. So here we go. Obviously, I'm going to have to, at this stage... We're going to lower our war exhaustion, even though that really hurts. And let's call Poland in against him. We're going to have a length of war modifier against the Ottomans once we vassalize this guy. Going to take some of his cash to help us pay off the debt that we've acquired. Byzantium obviously accumulates some money. Call in the Poles. If only we could call in Hungary and the other allies that we could make. Okay, and we can see just like that he's got low enthusiasm. So what's the likelihood that we could actually beat him? Well, Poland pieced out, so let's go for the white piece. Jesus. I mean, Poland, thanks for that, buddy. Really, really good stuff. Anyways, we got a truce with Ottomans again. Well, that was awkward. I'm not going to lie, guys. That was a little bit weird and awkward. But you can see there that the massive length of war modifier, once he called in, essentially Byzantium called in an additional 10,000 troops. That was enough to really wreck the Ottomans' enthusiasm and peace out. So we can see there... I'm kind of glad the way that went because, again, the only way that could have been worse is that I didn't have this discipline advisor, which is a pretty small thing, and we might have lost that initial engagement. But apart from that, that was almost quite literally the worst RNG you could possibly have. We're making profit. Pay off those loans, we're making a little bit more profit. Yeah, so we've got the alliance from Hungary and Poland. Feeling pretty good in a defensive battle from the Ottomans. So the dream is that we acquire this alliance from Austria. Fishing for a Diplo Rep advisor could definitely help. In my game, I did actually have to resort to basically artificially inflating my military. But obviously with the the rival of rival modifier that we're just about to get, the aggressive expansion reduction over time, our relations are going to be that much higher. If you can maintain 100 relations, it's not that unlikely that he'll flip friendly. But, yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. That's the strategy in a nutshell. Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and throw down a diplomat in Byzantium. That's going to allow us to actually, as soon as he drops below 50 relations, we throw a royal marriage in with him. He's going to be nice and stable, I'm talking from experience, and he's going to make around 0.6 ducats on top of this for you to enjoy every single month. So we're basically going to sit here in this position, hoping that this province defects, jump on that immediately, feeling really good about that, and just waiting for our favors to increase with Hungary and Poland. Obviously, when the Ottomans are like attacking the Mamelukes, for instance, he's going to be a much weaker form of the Ottomans without his so-called capital city. We call in Hungary and Poland against him and ravage him on the Balkan region. I hope that you guys enjoyed. This is a much more simple strategy in my opinion and much more easily executed for people who are not of a really advanced level. I hope that you have better luck than I did, and I hope that this helps you achieve that Dracula's Revenge achievement. Thank you guys so much for watching.